Hello, everyone, and welcome to my check-in podcast on Cast on the Fly. And I wanted to take a moment to talk a little bit to you about content creation and diversification of your content. I wanted to talk to you about mass quantities of content being produced on the internet by one individual. I don't know if I've ever really addressed this conversation with you all before, but I could actually draw this for you. So when you first start creating content, you'll probably feel uncomfortable because your friends and family are watching you, and you're presenting yourself in a way that's educative, and they're very judgmental, and that's your insecurity comes from that. So my recommendation is you can either work through it, but you definitely have to ignore their opinions. Meaning, I wouldn't honestly even take any opinions from anybody because they're just going to slow the growth process down. The key and when you're producing content is the education that you're putting out. That's the most important thing. Whether it's entertainment, whether it's your growth processes, whether it's schoolwork stuff, like stuff you learned in school, personal experiences. The whole point of your content production is that it's yours. However, it needs to be yours. It cannot be theirs and then you just carbon copied it. No personal experience in it. See, most people aren't experiencing anything because they don't know how to experience anything. They only care about the trending train, which leaves everyone depleted and disempowered and feeling insecure. Then you want to take a look at the people watching it. Well, actually, you need to move into the quantities of pieces of content you're producing. So you're going to be producing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll do 7 up here. And then let's say you produce 5 pieces of content, 10 pieces, 20 pieces, 30 pieces, 40 pieces, 50 pieces, 60 pieces. I mean, that's exaggerating, obviously. Let's see, 10, 15, 25, 35, 65, 105, 155, I've done this before. I've done about 210 pieces of content in one day. One person. That's really for people who don't have a job. If you don't have a job and your goal is to be a content creator, you literally should be creating and coming up with ideas for production of content all day long. Like a 9 to 5. Not pie in the sky. I'm going to get lucky off one piece of content. No, this is the work. For some of you, it's going to be hard to figure out what that 210 pieces of content is. Some days you're going to be in the steady flow of production. Some days you're going to be stuck in, you don't even know what the hell to produce, but you better get your butt moving. When you produce this amount of piece of content out into the internet, and literally it's kind of like, it's like, hold on, let me see. Let me show you. I want to show you in drawing form. It'll make more sense if I draw it. Each piece of content, no matter if anyone sees it or not, is pushed out into the universe. You have no one backing you. It's just you. You're like the CEO of your own company with the potential of millions of people seeing one piece of content. This is I'm talking to people who haven't been viral yet. This is what happens with your information, whether you know it or not. It literally is like sitting in like this. It's like this. This is the energy. Now imagine if you have 210 pieces of spiral energy, of your energy. being pushed out into the universe, pushed out into the internet. And then it starts going, all your 210 pieces of content now start going viral. Hold on, I'm drawing it for you. They don't tell you this when you produce content. It's more invasive than this, though. It's really invasive. You get physical pain from this. It can cause crippling fear inside you. Listen to what I'm telling you. No one else prepares you for going viral or being a production guru. I mean, production guru is just somebody who can produce content. It doesn't matter if your content is good or bad. You know, like positive or negative. Like negative as in you're producing your face. This is Mr. Beast. Your face with a knife. Your face with a saw. Your face with money. Like his content is shit. And that's the energy he puts out. Now, you're watching this. You're a positive person. And they're abusive to you. They're all going to be abusive. Consider they're all abusive to you. You can either battle it because you're trying to really educate people on how to behave. See, the problem where we are with internet right now is nobody taught the audience how to behave. They just let it go. They're like, okay, well, just let it roll off your shoulders. That's why we're in this mess. Not to mention the bot accounts that will attack you, which are worse than humans. So I'm not sure how you as a company would allow bots to cause suicides in other people's lives, because the bots actually cause people to kill themselves. That's on the shoulders of the people running the app, which is a huge responsibility. But the government's running the apps. The government's actually responsible for the suicides because the governments are allowing the bots to exist. What happens if you're not real solid and as a person? And I've tried to talk to y'all about this before. If you're producing, nobody produces this much content. I'm like 100% sure that I'm the only one on the planet producing, able to produce this amount of content in a day. It's painful. It can be painful. Not only that, I'm talking to one person, like maybe a whole team of people, but I even think I'm producing more content than a team of people. I'm just saying, it's not like something to be proud of. It's just something that's happening. Because I'm going for goal. I'm going for virality. For education. And I'm giving valuable content though too, right? Like I'm actually gifting you a lot of really good information. Like this is my second podcast on, I don't have to count on anybody either though. Right? I don't count on a co-star. I don't count on a meeting. I just do it. It gives you a stronger chance to win if you just count on yourself. But you're eventually going to have a team of people around you. But you'll already have a whole lot of content produced, which is what also my plan was. If you're not prepared for the comment section, the expectation is that your comment section is available for people to comment, which is really aggravating. I don't really want your opinion on anything, actually. Not in the way that you're delivering it. See, the way you're supposed to be commenting in the comment section is not telling me how wonderful it is. Not telling me how amazing you feel. That's nice. Nice of you to say that it makes you feel positive. Those kinds of, my idea in my comment section is I want a positive sign or a negative sign. But by seeing that, I know that that is on you. That's not even on me. I don't know why. When I'm producing content for myself with an intention to assist somebody else. But see, nobody else is producing content like that. That's the difference between my content and their content. Their content is self-righteous and self-loving, and how am I going to get one for myself in sales? There's a couple people out there like Jordan Peterson is an example of the correct kind of content. I've used his name twice today. Gary's another one that's positively delivering. Like he used to do more, but now obviously he's involved in this prostitute. His content has changed, although he's working in a whole different ballgame of expanding a business. So hopefully one day when he's out of the dark, he'll be able to conversate on this experience for him, because this hasn't been easy for him either. And then Joe used to, but I haven't really been watching Joe Rogan's content. When you're in the love section, you're experiencing feelings. So this here, the squiggles, isn't even associated to the comment section, the like section, the positive or the negative section, you know? This is just feelings associated to putting out content and then people watching it. This is why it's important for you to know these things, because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen if you are not self-aware and secure in humanity. Then there's the share button. The share button puts it like on a whole nother trajectory. Because now you're like, it's like running and spiraling out of control. Like energy of like a spinning top. Yelling, it's like a war zone. Your piece of content is like a war zone. My piece of content is a war zone. We're not in Kumbaya land. That's the thing, right? Like in Kumbaya land, you should hear the kind of content that I would produce. In the old days, my content was way different than what it is today. See, they don't tell you what happens when you go viral. They don't tell you all these horrible things happen to you. Some people take advantage of it and try to show off their titties. And then they sell seduction and they fluff your ass because they don't like dealing with this. This is people's pain pictures. This is people's pain that you're dealing with. And so what people on the internet have done, women specifically, is they've manipulated the pain picture and they've made themselves to stand on a pedestal so that you will worship them, so you won't do your pain picture on them, so the pain picture is on you. However, their pain picture is bigger than your pain picture. And they're fueled by manipulation, getting something from you. So they're basically leaving you empty. So you're left empty, but short term, you're left filled up with what you think is joy. But that's like a puff of smoke for them to get you to keep coming back to their platform and buy what they tell you to buy. When in reality, they're looking at you going, what the fuck do you want? Who the fuck do you think you are? That's not a real leader, though. That's a cloud chaser. That's somebody that doesn't have any information to give you. But that's the whole point of the internet. So 100%, well, I say 100%, 99% of people on the platform are literally living in this circle of big head because they think they've got tons of people like worshiping them. So they feel like they're like kings and queens running a kingdom. But they're controlling you. That's not very self-aware. That's not a good person. And that's what can happen to you if you're a bad person and you don't care about people. And that's actually what the Democrats wanted to fuel for their agenda. And there's a lot of dimensions in this, but we're going to sit with that for a bit. Then there's the person that's the good person. The good person is somebody who really wanted to make a difference for somebody. I don't know if there's a lot of good people out there, though. Like, it's very confusing. The good person goes viral, doesn't know what this is all about, but understands energy and such, and is left depleted and empty inside. They shake, you'll shake. You'll cry, but you'll feel really uncomfortable in your own skin when you used to feel really comfortable in who you are. That's for the overnight virality of someone who's not prepared for it. In the comment section, people will always say they know more about you, even if you have a degree in the thing that they're saying you don't know anything about. Because that's just how people are. No, that's not true. Well, science says that it's true. But that didn't happen to me. And that's how they say it, though. So they don't take the information that you're giving. This is the audience to the person. They don't take the information like as in a thought. Like, this is the way people operate now because of these people. Because they don't have anything to teach. So in the old days, you would sit back and you would say, I wonder if that's true. One time I heard about ice cubes and water for a dog. I said, well, I guess I'll just never give my dog ice cubes before because I don't want them to hurt their tummies. And then another lady said, well, that's really not true. And I said, okay. That's what they said. However, that's not the way it was delivered. Because that's how people operate on the internet now. It's a punch for 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 a punch. Now imagine if you're going viral and you're on the worst platforms ever, which would be Charlie, the D'Amelio crew, whatever was in the Hype House. That's this group. That's the Monovan group. That's the prostitutes like her group. That's anyone that looks like a Monovan. That's anyone that looks like a Kim Kardashian. That's anyone in their early years. Well, I'd really say that's almost everyone who went viral during COVID. So you kind of want to take a look at the dates of when they went viral. And they created communities that are just like them. And that's illegal. So that's what you're up against when you become a content creator. You'll even have thoughts that you don't know where they come from. Like, you'll be real confident in who you are and how you look. And then all of a sudden you'll be like, golly, do I look okay? Am I alive? Does my face look okay? Do I look old? Am I aging? Although you're like 25 years old. That comes from the manipulation group. But it also comes from their community because they're fueling a war. And it also comes from your audience too, because your audience is likely their audience. And that means you're competing with these fools. If you can imagine that. So that's a big responsibility. It's not just about putting out content, although it is just about putting out content. And now you know why you're fearful about putting out content. Some of you are fearful that you might actually be seen and you might actually go viral. And you should be a little fearful in it because you want to be ready for those moments when you do go viral, because you don't want to be one of those people that go to parties and this is how they talk. Well, how many views did you get last week or last month? What were your analytics? And it's worse conversation than that. However, I want to remind you, they're having their whole content is based on who they're having sex with, who they're married to, who they're kissing on, what party they went to. That's not good for the world. That's not good for this country, but they don't care. That's why politics is in this mess, because Democrats are political, political misfits. I told you they pretend to care about the poor, but they're actually the ones that are fueling the poor's failures. That's why the manipulation prosties have gone viral and you haven't gone viral. 99% of you honestly really are not ready to be viral. You're not grounding in any form of self-awareness, because that is the key. Humility, self-awareness, a purpose, and being very aware that none of this shit means anything. And that when you are being seen by millions of people, you have a responsibility to help them. To speak in ways that will get through to them. Because when you're dealing with this pain body for these people, you fluffing their ass will only take them to being a fan. See, I always talk shit about Gary that he's a fluff talker, but he's really not a fluff talker. He'll call people dicks and assholes, and he'll say it in a way that's kind of mean. Actually, meaner than me. He's an artistic communicator. I'm direct. I'm a direct speaker, and he isn't a direct speaker. I don't want to talk. I don't want you to talk. No. What else was I going to say? There's something else that I wanted to say about this. We're like a perfect pair, just to let y'all know. Comment section, positive, likes, shares, pain bodies. The pain body has gotten so huge. Like the world is supposed to be healing from COVID. And instead what the Democrats did is they used it as a weapon against the people. That is one thing that I cannot understand, that you as people in this country cannot see the truth in. You just kind of brushed it under the rug that all of you were almost dead. The civilization was almost over, and you just brushed it under the rug. Obama, Fauci. That's the crazy part. And then while you were all scared in your homes and bored, and honestly it was the worst, because then you had to be with people that you hadn't been around for long periods of time. And you started hating those people. They're getting on your nerves. And then you had to sit with yourself. Plus you were watching the news. And then they allowed the manipulation community to go viral globally. And that's why we're in this mess. That's why you can't have real conversations with people. Then, somehow, aliens are involved. But that's like, you can actually battle that in the form of being content in knowing thyself. That's why I go to these platforms and I say, I don't trust anything that's on the TV. I mean, I literally saw these poor little kids that looked really stranded and upset, and they had patches on their eyes, and they were at the hospital and stuff. But I'm sorry, but that's not appropriate. That is a child, that's a child that if he's actually in pain and hurt, there's no reason that child should be on the news except to fuel your propaganda. My second thing is that are they really injured? Because I don't trust the news media. And I've seen a lot of makeup on movies that look real too. Not to mention generated, what do you call it? Do I want children to be injured? Absolutely not. But what I don't trust is I don't trust anything in the narrative that they're painting a picture of to overthrow into a new world, into a new world order. I'm sorry, I just don't. That's just where I'm at with that. I just wanted to tell you that the responsibility that it takes. This actually went into longer. This went by very fast. I'm at 26 minutes and I want to get off because it took all day today to download the video that I just posted. And I want to let you know that this going viral thing is not just getting paid. It's not just showing off you sweeping up food on the floor. There's a responsibility that comes along with it, and your actions of being ethical, moral, and showing value. Meaning, it's not that she's video or showing you pictures of herself sweeping the floor and then taking care of the kids, right? It's everything that who she is as a person and ethics, morals, and values. Meaning, that's just one video of a bunch of other videos that this lady has. However, what is she representing? Is she just clout chasing? Is she a good person? Is she a bad person? Is she robbing you of your soul? Is she manipulative? Is she abusing her children by putting them on video? Because some kids now can handle the abuse from the audience. And some people are, some little babies are dying inside. And this is an awareness game that I've been talking to y'all about for some time now. Most people that I've seen are not up to anything on these platforms. It's like really Gary Vaynerchuk is the only one that I see that can operate at a level where he's grounded in being a person. And even that's questionable because go take a look at Mona Van's page and how he's showing up for that. So I'll just say 99.99999% of you don't know how to operate on the internet, and I'm the 1%. I'm a rarity. And the bigger your audience becomes, the more wacko you can become. Like I do find myself yelling at my dog, which I've really kind of gotten under control. Like bursts of anger, which she's just like, whatever. I actually think she thinks it's a game. I think she thinks it's a game. I'm like, get off of me, and then I'll push her, and then I'll feel bad. Although I have hurt her feelings a couple times. And then I apologize to her. I say, please don't be mad at me, Hazel. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. But see, I don't think that I don't think you guys apologize for it. You just let it go. I even apologize to Gary all the time. That's me showing up how you're showing up for your community and your family. But that's mild, actually. That's just me showing you my pain body. Anywho, that's what I had to tell you. We got into a long conversation about this, and I didn't want to get into a long conversation, but that is a little bit of producing content and what happens to your mind and your brain. You're pulled in all sorts of directions. It can be very scary. It can be headaches. It can be body aches. It can be confusion even. You'll even lose track of who you are as a person And some people are, honestly, you're more happy. And I'm not trying to not get you to produce content. Hear me on that. I just want you to be aware that I would have never gone, like, I'm like telling myself I would have never done this if I knew that if this was the case. Although I have tons of information to deliver because that's how crazy this shit is. Although I probably would have done it. I wouldn't have done it. No, I wouldn't have done it. I would have done it a different way. I would have done it in a different way. Although I think too that I'm the exception. I'm the exception to the rule because I'm Jesus this lifetime. And I had a conversation today that I said I didn't even really want to be Jesus this lifetime. Although I am Jesus this lifetime. It's like, it is what it is. So that's my little talk with you this evening, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I could talk to you about, you know what's the difference in the future, what I imagine for the future for us, is that you'll ask the questions and I can literally not nitpick you, but I can give you more like concretes, and then like more people will actually hear what I'm saying. Meaning you're going to really get some movement instead of like thinking. And you'll be put in your place too. It's almost like recreating the new world of internet in combination with how beautiful life used to be. Life used to be so beautiful, y'all. It seriously was awesome. Oh my gosh. I used to have such a great life. My life has been so amazing. I love my life. I really do. I really do love my life. It's just in a lull, I would say. That's what I fight for every day, is I fight for my life of like what it used to be, of how I used to feel so happy and funny and goofy. I loved being goofy. I loved being fun. I loved laughing. I loved joking. I loved talking to people. I loved people. I used to love people. And now I just really don't want to be bothered with them because they're all so damn weird. I wish I would go back to the old way. And then we just kind of like let you be your person, and then I'll be my person and you be your person. And then we battle the manipulation. The manipulation. And we cut off the aliens and whatever subliminal messages that the government from the CIA is operating under. Don't trust the Democrats. Do not trust them. I'm telling you right now, I do not trust anything they say. Anywho, I hope you all enjoyed this. My name is Cassandra Vaynerchuk. And I'm going to close the door because the mosquitoes are coming in. What does that mean? The bloodsuckers. All right. This is Cassandra Vaynerchuk, over and out. With a little bit of me and a little bit of you, we're changing the internet, whether they like it or not.